questions for Robert?
Robert, what's it been like the last couple weeks of camp? It seems like you have these little injuries popping up that cost you a day or two. How do you try and make sure that you're where you want to be here in 3.5 weeks?
Well, you get up early, start with some early rehab or treatment, and then just kind of go off what the trainers tell me what I can and cannot do. So I think at the end of the day, they're not really worried about what's going on. They're just making sure I'll be healthy as possible come week 1. So at this time, like I said before, I think it's just more load management, making sure I don't overwork myself, because they kind of know me. Once you say I'm good to go, I'm going until you stop me. So I think they're just load management.
And I'm sorry, you said they're not worried. Are you worried at all?
When we have seen you out there, you look very fast. I mean, are there things that are feeling better to you than they did a year ago?
I think I'm in a great place mentally. So I think that plays a huge part. I think I'm just in a great place mentally, spiritually, physically is what it is. So again, it all kind of starts with the mental. So I think I'm in a great place for myself now. Just see if I can continue, I guess, what y'all see. So come in a few weeks.
Robert, you indicated a few weeks ago that maybe you were a little too hard on yourself last year. What did you learn from that experience? How have you gotten yourself into this place right now where you feel sort of mentally calm and confident?
Well, I guess, we all know we can't change the past. So, I mean, as much as I hate looking at last year, it's something that happened, but more used as, I guess, not motivation, but, basically, in a sense, trying to not repeat a year like that, because that's not my standard. So at the end of the day, I just kind of, it's weird to say, but kind of washed it and just moved on from it, because again, it was last year. Just wasn't a good year for me, so I can definitely change the perception this year. But that starts on game day, so we got a little time before we get there.
How do you describe the mental place you're in right now?
Heavenly peace. Like, it's very. I realize don't let the little ticky-tack stuff bother you. And like you kind of said, don't let my disappointments or whoever disappointments just dwell on you, because again, once something happens, it has happened. You can't change it. So it's how do you, I guess, move on and I guess grow from the situation. So don't keep yourself in that type of dark place, feeling sorry for yourself. Figure out how you can grow and become a better person and player.
Robert, what made the difference? What made the difference? And did you get here on your own to this point, or did you have some kind of outside help, or to get you right mentally?
Well, of course, I think it started with myself really trying to figure out. Well, again, like you said, being mad at myself from the previous season, trying to figure out, looking for answers on why, and I guess sometimes you just don't get the answer you're looking for. You just you just keep working, and again, I realized again I hard not to look at it, but last year is like, and it does again, it just sucks when I think about it, but I know I'm not that type of player. I think my production is consistently should be a lot better than that. So at the end of the day, I looked myself in the mirror, and I had another best friend, Will Hayes. We talk all the time, and we just can't. Again, he's someone I can vent to, but at the end of the day, it was more just. And like my agent said, just go be happy. At the end of the day, if I'm happy, football take care of itself.
Robert, we've heard from a lot of your teammates on the defense talk about how Sean Desai is putting you guys in positions to be successful. How specifically has he done that with yourself and your role within this defense?
Well, I think he knows where everyone is best suited and can play their best ball. You know me, you know where I like to be, and I think he knows that, and I'm sure everyone else in the NFL knows where I like to be. So he's taking what I like to do what I do best and making it fit into the system. Not to say I'm the system by myself, but I think what I do individually it can help the defense. So I think if you allow the guys to play where they're best at, I think the defense will again follow suit. So I think you just want to put players in a position to win and dominate as a defense.
Robert, when you've played for a lot of different coordinators in your career, what is it that you look for to have the confidence that this defense seems to have in Sean right now? What do you individually kind of look for to have that trust and confidence?
Well, I mean, honestly, as a D coordinator, not to say we're like kind of got to take charge of the room, let you know that, we know who calling the plays, don't question it, just call it. Once he call it, just run it. So I think guys, have bought in, there's been some changes, but guys have bought in, everyone, again, knows what they do well, but again, with coach's system, it's just like anybody, just, again, just putting people in the right position. That's all, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Robert.
You looking forward to getting more snaps on Saturday?
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm getting a little bit more of a rhythm than what we did this past week. So, knowing that we'll get some more snaps will be good for us.
Getting more snaps, what do you hope to accomplish individually? I mean, it's obviously you're a veteran, it's obviously a preseason game. What do you hope to get out of it?
Yeah, you just want to see the offense operate how it's supposed to. I think kind of like what I said last week going into, you weren't exactly sure how many snaps I was going to get, but I just want to be efficient and like I said, let's like set the standard of how we're going to be getting in and out of the huddle and how we're going to move the ball and all that kind of stuff.
Is there an amount you want to play, and do you get input in that?
Whatever they say is what it is. So, I mean, there's whatever Matt's going to want us to do. That's what we'll do.
Is it unsatisfying to have kind of the two possessions that you had on Saturday where, like you said, nothing was clicking at all?
Yeah, I mean, we would have liked to, pick up a first down. We thought we had one there earlier. We kind of would have given us a little momentum, but then we had the holding call, and then we didn't win both times on third down. So two opportunities to move the chains that we didn't take advantage of. So this week, obviously, we'll have a chance to get into more of a rhythm.
What have you learned about David Montgomery and just what he means to this offense and who he is as a guy?
He's such a passionate player, and I think just how much he cares. And I think that's one of his biggest traits. You gotten to some of these competition drills where some live periods and stuff, and he's found ways to. Everybody thinks he's stopped, and he's broken out of some big runs and stuff. So just the way that he competes and just his passion for being the best player that he can be has been a lot of fun for me to watch.
Whatever your comfort level is with the offense at this point, it seems like you're comfortable. When you're in a new place, I guess what is the value of actually going out there on Saturday in a preseason game, moving the chains, and just knowing that it all translates to a game, even if it is a preseason game?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You get into these games, and now there's fans in the stands, and everybody reacts different to it, especially this time of year. There's still a ton of competition out there during training camp, and still a ton of guys fighting for spots, and you want to see guys to be able to rise to the occasion, and especially for the young guys on this team. And so I think that's the biggest thing. It's all right, now this is what it's like to be playing some real football, fans in the stands. There's some emotion involved, and you still got to be able to be at your best.
You know
Is
Jason
it human
Peters at all?
nature to want those fans to?
You know Jason Peters?
I don't know him at all, but I know that just his presence on this team will be really good. A guy that's played a ton of football, arguably a Hall of Fame career, and I think he's going to be great for this team.
Is it human nature to want those fans who don't really know you to like you? To go out and score, give them a reason to cheer. Matt was talking yesterday about how, let's be real, it might have been hard on you to sit there and listen to everybody cheer Justin for 2 quarters the other day.
I mean, the thing is, there's so much excitement with Justin, and it's deservedly so. I mean, he's a first-round pick, and just with everything that's gone on here, I mean, there's a lot of excitement with it. But I didn't feel like there wasn't excitement for me either, So it's like, I think for us, if we just go out and operate how we know we can do, I think the fans will be excited when we score lots of touchdowns this year.
How do you work around the awkwardness of all of the Justin excitement?
Yeah, I mean, you can't focus on that. If you focus on that, then that's going to beat you down. And so I know who I am. I know who I was created to be. I know where my identity lies. And so do I want the fans behind me and this team and all that kind of stuff? Yes. Do I want them behind Justin? Absolutely, I do. But that's not my focus. I can't focus on all that right now. Like I've said before, Justin's going to have his time, and Justin's going to have a great career. But right now, it's my time, and so my focus is on being the best player I can be for this team and do everything I can to help this team win.
Andy, the hope obviously is that by week 1 you guys have continuity you need on the offensive line, but what's been the challenge to this point with guys mixing in and out and wondering who's going to be out there kind of each practice?
Yeah, the challenge is they're not having, all right, this is our five guys, this is what they're out there, and they're building that chemistry. But also the good thing is we're getting guys a lot of experience in different positions, because I think everybody knows that very rarely do you go through a season and not have injuries. You don't have guys that are sitting out. So now we're finding what our group can do. And talking about competition, there's competition all over this team, and there's competition there to find the guys that are going to help us win games this year.
Andy, it seems like you're catching Darnell Mooney at the right time after he had his rookie year, and now he's ready to blossom. What do you think about just the potential he has as a receiver, and do you develop a connection yet with him because he is kind of versatile and can do a lot of things?
Absolutely. Usually there's a big jump from year one to year two. It's not new for you. You kind of know what to expect out there, and now your focus is on different things, and especially being in the same offense. And he's a guy that I feel like, obviously I wasn't with him last year, but just from what I've seen and what I've heard, I feel like he's taken a huge jump, and just he feels really comfortable with everything that we're doing. And I think for us, it's just just building that chemistry and continue to be on the same page with everything, because he's a special talent.
You talk about tuning out the outside noise with Justin. Does that get easier to do deeper in your career, that you get just tuning out the outside noise and focusing on what you need to do?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of life. I mean, I feel like I've been through a ton in my career, and so I think all the experiences that I've gone through have helped me get to this point right now. I know that I'm supposed to be on this team. I know that I'm a big leader on this team, and I know God has put me in this spot for a reason. And so for me, I'm just trying to do everything I can to make the most of it.
Andy, based on your experience when you were a rookie, how valuable do you think these preseason games are for Justin as opposed to practices?
Yeah, I think the preseason games are big, and now you don't have coaches sitting out on the field and making sure guys are on the same page. When you get in the huddle, you're the guy that's directing everything and making sure everybody knows exactly what you're doing. So I think just the experience that you get from the preseason game is big.
I know they're just 40 times, but Grissom, Bird, Mooney, they're three of the fastest guys in the league. Have you ever been surrounded by this kind of speed at that position, and how does that affect getting your timing down and getting comfortable with being able to make the connection when they do get over the top?
Yeah, I mean, this team has a lot of speed, and just to have that ability, to have that as part of our group is going to allow us to do some really good things, and gives us the ability to use their speed to our advantage. And so I'm thankful we've got that speed on this team.
Does it take any kind of extra work or special work just to be able to work the timing because of that speed?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say. I think it's just just learning them and learning how they run routes and learning their body language and on different things, and knowing and them too knowing where the ball is going to be and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't say it's anything extra. It's just kind of understanding like who they are as a player.
How's it feel being the undisputed end zone bucket king of Chicago?
It was a good day, It took us a while to kind of get honed in on it, but I felt like I put the ball in the right spot more times than the other guys did today. So fun to have those competitions, especially this time of year. With whatever it is, you go out and you want to compete in some of these throwing drills. It makes it fun.
Justin, did very, very, very little today. But when he's over on the sideline, does he seem antsy to you? Does he seem like somebody you really want to be out there today, doing more than just throwing into a bucket?
Yeah, I'm sure he wanted to be out there. Yeah.
All right, thanks, everybody.
frustrating was it, and how happy are you to be back?
It's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be practicing. So I feel good.
What was the most difficult thing for you? Obviously, everyone looks at you as a descending young player. You were hurt last year. You're going to take the next step this year, and then you can get it out there.
Are you talking about like last year or this year?
This year, not being able to practice and take off.
I mean, I feel like I got enough. I got a lot of good work in during OTAs, and I think I missed this year. I can't remember how many practices I did, but I got good camp practices before I missed practice, and I got OTAs. So I felt like I got a decent amount of work so far this year. I got more work this year than I did last year because there was no OTAs. We had that introductory period in camp last year. I believe our first practice was probably like first time in pads was like August 10th or 12th, around there. And so this year I got way more work than last year, which has been good.
How tough has it been just for this group in the whole, dealing with so many injuries, and now obviously the Tevin Jenkins news that he's done for a while with the surgery?
It shows that like our offense, like the people that are practicing, I mean, everyone on the offensive line is like they're dealing with like stuff. So it's good that like the offensive line, like the people that have been able to practice, they've been out there, and the people that haven't been practicing, they've been doing everything they can to get back out and practice.
In general, how long do you need with a tackle playing next to you to get that chemistry right between you and him?
Like 5 minutes, because I mean, Coach Juan is teaching the technique the same. He's teaching all the tackles the same, all the guards the same, centers, and so I mean, if the teaching and technique is consistent throughout, it's pretty easy. So you don't need much time with your tackle or your center to be with that. And we spend so much time. We're in meetings for 5 hours a day. We're at practice. We lift with each other. We're spending 7, 8, 9 hours with each other, and so that builds like camaraderie. So you know that they're thinking the exact same way you're thinking when you're out there on the field.
And so what was last year like for you, just having to sit out with the injury?
It was tough at first. I mean, right when I got hurt, like I mean, I thought I was hurt, and so I went to the locker room. Then, I went to like put on like a shoulder brace and come back out and play. But then the doctor was like, "You tore your pec." Then, I mean, I was sad. I was sad probably for like a week. Had my surgery. I was in pain the entire time I was in my sling. That was awful. But I mean, when I was hurt, I mean, I started realizing, like, appreciating, like, the situation I had. Like, I live alone. So my mom came here to live with me during, like, because I couldn't drive. I couldn't do anything. And so she lived with me, which was very nice. I got to spend time with my mom. I got to spend time with my cat, with my girlfriend. And so it made me, like, realize, like, really appreciate, like, the game. And also, it was also nice seeing that there was that stretch in the middle of the season where the team was struggling, but at the end of the season, like, they picked it up, and it was nice to see, like, the offensive line was playing really well at the end of last year.
And where were you at right before the injury? Like, how confident were you in your abilities now?
I felt like I was playing. I felt like we were all, like, as an offensive line, I felt like those first 5 weeks. I mean, I don't look at PFF, but I know you guys all have subscriptions. I mean, I could probably guarantee, like, our PFF grades were those first 4 or 5 weeks, those were probably the highest we had. And I felt like the offense line, we were playing good. Offense was doing good. Defense was doing well. I mean, we beat the Super Bowl champs last game I played. So, I felt like we were playing really well when that happened.
Where are you at now, physically, mentally, compared to that moment right before the injury?
I feel better. I mean, I'm stronger. My body comp, my stuff is down. I feel like my technique is better. And so, I mean, I feel like right now I'm a way better player than I am when I got hurt last year.
I may be overanalyzing this, but you're talking about when you're back, you're talking about we. And then you mentioned how the Bears rallied at the end of last season. You said they. When you're hurt like that, do you feel like you're almost away from things? And what's that like? How difficult is that?
No, I did my rehab and stuff every time. I mean, I did my rehab and stuff here And I went to meetings all throughout last year until like I had like a COVID scare. Then I stopped going to meetings. But I mean, I would send like my scouting reports and notes to the guys like pregame and things like that. I mean, the reason why I said they is because they were playing. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, yeah, they have my scouting reports, but that, I mean, I'm not out there, you know.
What was your COVID scare?
It was a false positive. Then I was close contact with some other people, and you know, that's what happened.
James, you and Cody are both guys who you'll play wherever they ask you to play, but are you just eager to just have a season where you're at one spot, you're healthy all year? I mean, how eager are you to kind of really, I don't know, establish yourself in the league and you know, have the best year you can, just and be what you're supposed to be, I guess?
Position-wise, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I feel good wherever the Bears want me to play at. So, I mean, of course, like I'm eager to play, but I mean, it could be at whatever spot the team needs me at, and I'll be fine with that.
Do you have any advice for Tevin now that he's kind of dealing with the surgery and you know, trying to come back from?
Yeah, just give him like words of encouragement. I told him like the same thing that people last year like told me. Like the good news for Tevin, I mean, he's young and he still has so much time to develop and grow into a very great player. And I mean, I don't know like the details of his surgery, but I mean, if he misses the full season or not, the good news is he has a full off season this like next year. And same thing like I did, like I got hurt early enough where like right after the season ended last year, I was full go for everything else. So that's the good news is for Tevin, like he's going to come back stronger and better than what he was.
Do you have individual goals? Do you ever think in terms, I know you're used to being part of a line as well, but do you ever think in terms of what you want to do or what you want to be?
I'd say my biggest goal is to not let the team down. So just being the guy that people on the team, offense, defense, coaches can depend on and just not let the team down. That's probably my biggest goal.
What kind of cat do you have?
What?
What kind of cat?
It's she was a formal like feral cat, and me and my girlfriend, we adopted her from a shelter in St. Louis. She's like small and orange, so an orange tabby with a clipped ear because she was supposed to be a catch and release, but she wasn't. Kurma. Kurma, yes.
What's it like, just one last thing, what's it like blocking for an Iowa State running back? Does that come up a lot?
It comes up. I mean, our lockers we're right next to each other in the locker room. I mean, it doesn't come up that much. I mean, the week of I think they play week 2 or week 3 this year, so it'll come up that entire week. But when Iowa wins, I mean, he'll be quiet for the rest of the year.
Thanks.
Thank you.